Hey everyone, AI video creation is changing so fast, it can make your head spin, right?
It really can.
But not you. You're here because you want to be ahead of the curve.
That's right.
And you know what? In that case, let me tell you, CogVideoX, that is your ticket to this incredible world.
It really is an exciting time to be creating videos with AI.
Yeah, and with some seriously cool new features, it's about to get even better.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking longer animations, more control, even running it all on your own computer.
Yeah, and that's what's so cool about this. It's becoming so much more accessible.
Exactly. And don't worry, we'll break it all down.
Yeah.
So, for those who are maybe new to AI video, what is CogVideoX? Can you give us the rundown?
Yeah, so it's an AI model that's been trained on tons and tons of video data, right?
Right.
And it can create videos on its own. But here's the thing. It's actually pretty small compared to a lot of these other models out there.
Okay.
We're talking like 5.2 billion parameters.
5.2 billion, and that's small. Okay, so that shows you how fast things are moving in this space. But why does the size matter? I mean, for someone like me who, doesn't have a server farm in my basement.
It's all about accessibility, right?
Yeah.
So that smaller size means it's potentially faster and it can run on less powerful hardware.
Got it.
So it's a big deal for anyone who wants to actually experiment with AI video without having to, spend a ton of money on equipment.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So it's powerful, but it's compact.
exactly.
I like it. All right, let's get to the fun stuff, the new features. This initial context window with free noise thing sounds pretty technical.
It does sound complicated, doesn't it? But it's really not as bad as it sounds.
Okay.
Basically, it gives the AI a longer memory so it can make longer videos.
Okay.
It's similar to a technique called animate diff. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of animate diff.
Yeah, so it's along those same lines.
Okay.
And that's been making some waves in AI art.
So this is like AI video's version of that.
Exactly.
Okay, so instead of like short little clips, now we're talking I can finally make my like epic space opera with AI.
Exactly, you got
I'm
it.
talking, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, but how does this actually work within CogVideoX, this longer memory?
So they're using it in two main ways.
Okay.
The first is video-to-video transformations.
Okay.
So you're giving the AI some footage that already exists,
Right.
and you're letting it kind of go wild with it.
Okay.
And then the second way is pose-to-video generation,
Okay.
which is really cool. It's like choreographing your videos, but with AI.
So wait a minute. So I can be like the puppet master.
Exactly.
I'm telling the AI where to move things.
You got it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, you provide the poses, and the AI does all the hard work.
Oh, very cool. So I can be like, all right, make them do the robot and it will actually happen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Like if you wanted to recreate a specific dance move or something.
Oh, that's so cool. All right, but now the big question.
Yeah.
Is my poor, overworked laptop going to be able to handle this?
Well, that's where GGF quantization models come in.
Okay, now hold on. Quantization.
Yeah.
That sounds a little intense.
It sounds scarier than it is, I promise.
Okay.
Think of it like this. We're making the models leaner and faster without losing quality.
So you're saying more power, less strain,
Exactly.
music to my ears.
Right?
Does this mean I can run it on my own computer?
It just might be possible.
Wow. Okay. I'm
Right.
excited about that. So all this sounds amazing, but I have to see it to believe it.
Sure.
Give us some examples. What has the CogVideoX team actually created using these new features?
Oh, man. They've been having a lot of fun with it.
Okay.
They've been working on these incredibly detailed cityscapes.
Okay.
Futuristic cityscapes with like fireworks and everything.
Okay, that sounds cool.
And get this, they even made a ninja fight scene.
A ninja fight scene. Okay, you've got my attention. Now we're talking. How good does it actually look, though? Be honest.
Okay, so full disclosure,
Yeah.
CogVideoX, it's incredibly powerful, but it's still small
Right.
compared to some of these massive AI models.
Okay.
So we're not quite at like Hollywood CGI level yet,
Hey.
but the results they're getting, they're really impressive.
Okay.
Especially considering, the size and the accessibility that we've been talking about.
So it's not just like a blurry mess or something.
Oh, no, it's way beyond that.
Right.
Like that futuristic city they made.
Yeah.
It's incredibly detailed. There are all these moving parts. They've got these cool effects like fireworks and things.
Very cool.
And then the fight scene, they were saying that it's a huge challenge to capture that kind of fast motion.
Yeah.
But the fact that it can even attempt it is a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal.
They actually used a specific type of pose control called DW pose.
DW pose, okay.
And they found that it gave much clearer results, especially in the background details.
So you're saying there are even ways to like optimize these new features to get even better results?
You're catching on.
Okay. This is very cool.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds like you've got a whole toolbox of AI-powered tools that you can use.
Yeah, it's not just one thing. It's like a whole bunch of tools you can use.
That's amazing. So for our listeners who are like me and thinking, I need to try this out, how do I even get started?
Well, luckily, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
There's a platform called ComfyUI.
ComfyUI.
Yeah, and it's really easy to get started with CogVideoX just by installing their custom node.
Custom node sounds a little techy.
It sounds more complicated than it is, I promise.
Yeah, okay.
You can download all the models directly through the ComfyUI interface.
So I don't have to, like, go on some wild goose chase on the internet to, like, find all the pieces.
No, they've made it super easy.
Okay, that's good. So I've got my ComfyUI set up. I've got my models downloaded. Any final words of wisdom for someone like me who's raring to go?
The most important thing is just remember you're not alone.
Oh, that's nice.
The CogVideoX community is amazing.
Oh, good.
Everyone is so passionate, and they love to share their knowledge and experiments.
That's great.
So don't be afraid to jump in, ask questions, share what you're working on. You never know, you might make the next big breakthrough.
I love that collaboration over competition, right?
Exactly. This is all about pushing the limits of what AI can do.
I love it.
And we can do so much more together.
Yeah. I love that message.
That's
That's fantastic.
It's exciting to think we're just getting started with what CogVideoX can do.
I know, right?
We've talked about creative stuff, but what about the real world?
Yeah, where does this fit into, like, the bigger picture?
The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Like what?
Well, let's start with filmmaking and animation.
Okay.
So you could make those crazy complex scenes and special effects
Right.
without needing like a huge CGI team or spending months on a computer.
Right, because that's so time-consuming and expensive.
Exactly.
So you're saying this could be a game changer for independent filmmakers?
Absolutely. It could level the playing field.
Wow. So we could see a wave of creativity like we've never seen before.
I think so.
What about beyond entertainment, though?
There are so many possibilities.
Yeah, like what?
Education, for one.
Lauren,
Think about making awesome educational videos on anything. Like you need to explain a really complicated science thing.
Right.
Generate an amazing visualization with AI.
Oh, wow.
Or bring history to life. Make those historically accurate reenactments.
It's like a total revolution in how we learn.
Exactly.
Because that's just education. I mean,
Exactly. There's advertising, social media, even virtual reality.
oh, wow.
Personalized ads, unique social media content, immersive virtual worlds.
It's mind-blowing when you actually think about it.
That really is.
But with all this AI-generated content,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard not to wonder,
Yeah.
are we all going to be out of jobs?
That's the big question, right?
It is.
But here's the thing. I see AI as a tool,
Okay.
not a replacement.
Okay.
It's like saying the printing press put writers out of business.
Right.
It's not going to replace human creativity. It's going to enhance it.
I like that perspective.
Yeah.
So instead of replacing jobs, it's more about creating new ones.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think about it. You'll need people to train these AI models
Right.
to guide them and refine the results.
So we're going to need like AI whisperers or something.
I like that AI whispers.
Right.
A whole new industry.
That's fascinating. So what does all this mean for someone listening right now
Yeah.
who's not like a filmmaker or a tech genius?
Yeah.
How can they start exploring this world without getting overwhelmed?
That's a great question. And honestly, it's never been easier.
Okay.
There are so many free and affordable resources online.
Like, give us some examples.
Well, you could start with some of the free AI video generation tools.
Okay.
Lots of websites offer really basic video creation stuff.
So just to kind of get your feet wet.
Exactly, just to see what
Yeah.
it's all about.
Okay, cool. What if you're ready to go a little deeper?
If you want to really dive in, there are online learning platforms.
Oh, yeah.
Places like Coursera, Udemy, edX, they have tons of courses on
Wow.
AI and machine learning.
Cool.
And a lot of them are made for beginners.
So you don't need to be like a coding whiz to understand it.
Nope, anyone can learn this stuff.
I love that. So I can learn the basics and start experimenting without spending a ton of money.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about connecting with other people who are into this stuff?
Oh, yeah. The power of community.
It's amazing to think about all the people who have come together around this technology.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
It's really cool to see, actually.
Yeah.
These communities are so welcoming and supportive. You can just jump right in, ask questions, share your work,
Right.
and learn from people who are doing the exact same thing you are.
Yeah. Finding your people. I mean, that makes all the difference.
It really does.
It's like having that built-in support system
Exactly.
while you're figuring all this stuff out.
Yeah.
For sure. Okay. But speaking of figuring things out, we've talked about all the amazing things that AI video can do.
Right.
But we have to talk about the ethical side of things, too,
Yeah, that's important.
because it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows, right?
Exactly. I mean, when you're talking about machines that can make stuff that looks so real,
Yeah.
it really makes you think about what's real and what's not.
It really does. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like we need a whole new set of skills to navigate this world.
Yeah, we need new instincts.
Right. Because if anyone can make a video that looks real, how do we even know what to believe anymore?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not just about those deepfakes anymore either.
Right. It's like AI-generated content could get so good that we can't even tell the difference.
Exactly.
Wow. So we've got to be careful.
We do.
We got to be really careful about what we're seeing and hearing online.
And think critically about it.
Exactly. Okay, so that's one thing. But what about the spread of misinformation?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Because that's already a huge problem online.
It is, and this could make it even worse.
Right.
Because now it's so easy to create these fake videos.
Right, like fake news reports or even worse.
Exactly.
It's kind of scary when you think about it.
It is a little bit.
Okay, so on a more philosophical level, how does all of this change how we think about creativity?
That's a good question.
If a machine can make something that looks like art, does that mean human creativity is less important?
Well, I think that's something people will be debating for a long time.
Probably.
But I personally believe that human creativity, it'll always be special
Okay.
because it comes from our experiences, our emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
AI can try to copy that,
Right.
but it can't really replicate what makes us human.
It's like that spark
Exactly.
that AI can't quite capture.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's less about AI taking over and more about what we can do when we work together.
I think so. We can use AI to enhance our own creativity.
I love it. So it's like you said before, it's a tool.
Exactly.
We just have to make sure we're using it responsibly.
For sure.
Well, this has been an incredible conversation.
It has.
We've covered so much ground.
I know. It feels like we're just scratching the surface.
It really does. There's just so much to explore with CogVideoX and AI video in general.
And it's changing so fast, who knows what's next?
I know it's exciting and a little bit overwhelming.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that's what makes it so interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're right at the edge of something big here.
We are.
And it's up to all of us to figure out where it goes from here.
I love that.
To everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI video.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone.
Remember, you don't need to be a tech expert to explore this world.
Anyone can do it.
So keep those creative sparks flying, dive in, and let's see what we can create together.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see what you come up with.
Until next time, stay curious.